All right, so we're now going to do steps 51 through 58, which is create and work on your title and content slide. So what we've done so far is we have modified the master, we have edited our first title slide, and now we're going to get into actual content slides. Step 51, to choose where your new content slide will go in your presentation, click just below the slide you want to add the new slide below. So right now it's really easy. We only have one slide over here. If we had a whole bunch of slides, then you would want to go and click right where you want your new slide to go. So we click and you can now see this orange line right below our original title slide. That shows you where that slide is going to go. Okay, step 52. To add a new slide, do one of the following. You're only going to choose one of these. So on the toolbar, you can click on Insert right here, and then New Slide right down here. And that creates a new slide. And Google knows that you probably only want one title slide. This is what the title slide is. So now it's going to add a default title and content slide. The other option was to just click below the toolbar. So I'm going to undo that just because I want to show you the other method. So undo just undoes whatever you did last. So now we're going to do that second option. Just below the toolbar on the ribbon, click on the plus icon. So that's this. Now if I just click on the plus, it creates a new slide just like that default. I'm going to undo it really quickly and show you what happens if you click on this down arrow instead. If you click on that arrow, all of the different types of slides come up, but we're just going to go for the default, so I'm going to click on that. So that gives us the typical title and content slide. All right, so moving on now to step 53. Click where it says click to add title. So that's here, click to add title. So I'm just going to click right in the middle of it, and I get that blinking cursor line. And this is going to be for the very first slide that we're going to be talking about. Now for our presentation that you're going to be creating, you're supposed to get the name of the slide from your homework. I don't have the homework open in front of me, so I'm just going to create some basic slides. All right, so I'm just going to call this My Slides 1. You do want to do it in title format, so the first letters of each word are capitalized. You always have the very first word and the very last word capitalized no matter what the word is. If you take a look at the expected results column, you'll see that I have a lot of information on what kinds of words are not capitalized and what ones are. So take a look at those and you'll see some explanations of why you capitalize certain words and why you don't capitalize others. All right, so moving on now to step number 56. If you want to use bullets, which most of you will, so let's click to add text right here. That's step 55. So you can see right now that Google does not default to giving me bullets. I want bullets, so I'm going to have to add them. So step 56. To add bullets, click on the bulleted list icon, and I give you a picture of what it looks like. But it's this guy right up here. This is the one with the dots. If you come over here, this is called a numbered list. It would give you also bullets, but they would all have numbers, 1, 2, 3. But I do want just the bullets, so I'm going to go over here and click on this. And now I have a bullet. And you'll see that this is font size 24. That's because that's what we set in the master. And you'll also see that the text is white. That's also what we set in the master. So it remembers what we did in the master, and that's what it gives you for every slide, which is great. That's exactly what you want to use a master for. All right, so let's continue to move on. Step 57, type the words for each bullet. I'm just going to type bullet 1. Now in this case, you're not going to be using title case, you're going to be using sentence case. So only the first letter of each sentence is capitalized, and all the other words, unless they're proper nouns, are all going to be lowercase. Bullet 1 for my presentation. So I'm going to push enter, and it brings me back to the same level bullet, and I'm going to say bullet number 2 for my presentation. All right, and as soon as I hit enter, it just goes back to the exact same level. If at this point I want to make a sub-bullet, so a bullet whose points are under this one, I have two choices. On my keyboard, I can hit Tab, and it automatically comes in and gives a different type of bullet. All right, so sub-bullet number 1. If I hit enter now, it's going to go to the same level I'm currently on. So right here. So this is going to be sub-bullet number 2. If, again, I hit enter, it goes back. Now, if I want to bring it in one more time, but I don't want to use the keyboard, then I come up to these little guys right here. This is increase your indent, which brings you to the right. And this is decrease your indent, which brings you back to the left. And these were also set in the master. If you go back and look at your master, you'll see that first level has this solid dot, second level had this open dot, third level had a square. Those are also things that you can change in the master. I didn't have you do it because I don't see any problem with this style. But if you like a different style, if you want different little icons as your bullet markers, then you can change that in the master. All right, so I'm going to bring this back out. The other way you can do it, in addition to using these increase and decrease indent buttons, is to hit Shift on your keyboard and hold it down. So I'm right now holding Shift down on my keyboard, and now I'm going to hit Tab. If I want to bring it all the way back out, I just hold Shift down and hit Tab one more time. So I can do it with my keyboard, Tab, Tab, Shift, hold, Tab, Tab, or button, button, decrease, decrease. All right, so those are the two different ways you can bring your bullets in and out. So I'll just quickly call this bullet 3. I'm just going to cheat now. Bullet 4, whoops, 4, and then sub, sub, sub. Okay, so sorry, your content's going to be a lot more exciting than mine. I just wanted to get some words on there. So that was all step 57. And the instructions on the buttons and things like that are all in that expected results section. All right, so the very end of this section, step 58, is just telling you to use the techniques that you just learned in step 57 to finish the first slide for your homework.